Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host Gian from Hostpitality, and yeah, today we're going to be talking about a special announcement that Airbnb made last, what was it, on the 24th. That was last Monday. Brian Chesky got on a video call and addressed everyone, and apparently there are a lot of new updates and things that were placed into the Airbnb platform that some of them are pretty nice, and some of them are long overdue to happen on the platform. So yeah, apparently they're looking at this rentalscaleup.com article. It says that it has 103 new features. I think that's more like clickbaity than anything else. I think 103 features are it's like overblowing it a little bit. Probably they're just extrapolating a lot of features from it. I'm just trying to say the maximum amount of features that they can say, and probably a lot of features are just like they go into the same package, but if you look at them individually, oh wait, instead of just one major feature to the inbox, oh, we have new scheduled messages, we have new templates, we have new, and then that's how they break them down so they can say that they have more features. But yeah, let's get into the article. So I'll leave a link down below to the main article if you want to read it, all throughout. I'll just be skimming through the host cited implementations. I'm not really going to get into the nitty gritty of guest cited, which the guest cited ones are pretty cool as well. But yeah, let's get into it. Just skimming through this pretty quick. Yeah, here's the video. Also, the video's in the articles if you want to see it. With wow. So let's keep on. Yeah, he goes into major announcements. So one of the things that he does fairly well here in this article is just detail. I think it's three major things that were announced. No, two major things. Yeah. So he says that the two major things were more flexible search options. So this is guest cited, obviously, and you see flexible dates, flexible matching, flexible destinations. And then major announcement 2, simplified and faster 10-step new listing creation process. So now you get a 10-step program to be a host. That's sort of like AA. You got a 10-step program. But yeah, this is one of the things that I was saying at the beginning of the video. So look at this. So this is a major category of inclusions, and you see that this could be one feature that was added, more flexible search options, and then suddenly you have flexible dates, flexible matching, flexible destinations. And then you'll see that in the enumeration that he has below, he details them as single features. So yeah, that's how they add up to the 103. So let's keep on going. So in the 10-step listing process, we counted 14. So yeah, I think 10-step listing process is just a nice way of saying it. So it's probably I would say that it ends here. Just the last few questions. Yeah, I wouldn't count, the check out your listing and congratulations from Brian. 2 steps, which I don't know. Congratulations from Brian. What? Why, man? Why? Ugh. Okay. So let's keep on going and start here. You can skim through this list, as I said, if you want to, but I'm going to focus on the ones that are primarily destined for hosts. So let's look at first the arrival guide here. So the arrival guide you're basically given the guest a guidebook. So for those of us who remember the initial guidebook. So excuse me, I had some technical difficulties here. So sorry for that one. But yeah, let's go back to the guidebook. So yeah, essentially what you're doing is you're just giving, general information to the guest about the things that they're going to need firsthand in your listing. So yeah, these if you want to go a little bit above and beyond, you want to go a little bit more pro level, definitely, I would recommend to just go with a third party guidebook solution, something like Hostfully, something like a TouchStay, or if your PMS does have a guidebook solution, I would say to do something like that. Operto is something Operto is a little bit higher level, just automated access, with guidebook solution inside and that sort of thing. But yeah, if you want to go a little bit above and beyond, a little bit more pro, and just like highlight your brand rather than highlighting Airbnb's brand, then yeah, I would suggest to just get a third party solution for your guidebook instead of using this. But if for ease of use, just if you want to use this one, it's a rather helpful implementation. So yeah, you got checkout process. Okay, so these things are mainly guest cited. So here in the 28, clear cancellation. So it's I haven't seen any particular changes to how cancellations are worded, but this may be just the announcement, and maybe they're going to change something. But yeah, cancellations are fairly. I would say they're fairly clear, but maybe on the guest side, it's more of they don't know exactly who's the one in charge of canceling, how the cancellation process. I think you have this little back and forth sometimes where Airbnb says that that's a host matter, and then the host, it's like, well, but Airbnb does the implementation of the actual cancellation. So yeah, it's like a ping pong match between who handles the cancellation, or who handles more of the process of the cancellation. So yeah, that's where we go. So yeah, from number 40, we see the things starting to look more host sided. So a new hosting page. Yeah, this was overdue. The Airbnb platform was on the hosting side, particularly, it's very sluggish. It was very sluggish. It's gotten a little bit faster, but I wouldn't say it's something super noticeable. But yeah, it has gotten faster. So become a host in 10 steps. You got the Today tab, experiences for host resources. Okay. Experiences. Okay. Host testimonials. What's my place worth? So this is one of the things that I take with like pliers. You have an updated calculator. It helps you quickly estimate the earnings potential of your space. What I would always tell you is not to trust just one source. Or if you are going to trust one source, make sure that their data is very, very good. So if you're just going to use Airbnb as the entity that's going to tell you, hey, you should market your place at this particular price, I wouldn't necessarily trust Airbnb to do this. And in particular, it's not because Airbnb is going to do a bad job at it, but it's because of the fact that Airbnb is the OTA. So Airbnb is going to favor more. Airbnb is going to favor, I would say, more lowball prices because they're more interested in selling the nights rather than to tell you, hey, you can actually make X amount of money given the value that you bring to the market. So what I would say is to also use third party services such as AirDNA, Transparent, maybe even if you start using a dynamic pricing tool, which I think we're going to talk about pricing here in a bit. But if you use a dynamic pricing tool, sometimes those dynamic pricing tools can also give you an estimated worth or earning potentials as well for the area. But for that to work with the dynamic pricing tool, you already have to have a listing created. So that works from your second listing and onward. But for your first listing, I would say use something that's very easy, like AirDNA, Transparent, which are very good software experiences, and their data is fairly good. Okay, so easily host experiences, video for experiences. Okay, yeah, we saw in 2020 that they started doing video experiences because COVID. Nobody could aggregate in the same place, so easily add amenities. This is whatever. Auto arranging photos. This is fairly useful. It's like for the longest time, changing the order of photos in the Airbnb app was extremely inconvenient. You would try to change and rearrange the photos, and the platform would change them back. They wouldn't catch your command or stuff like that. So that, yeah, if they fix that, that's great then. So suggested title, yeah, this is fairly good because there comes a time where you've created so many titles that nothing pops up into your head. So that's pretty good. Simpler pricing and suggested price range. Yeah. So I would tell you to stay away and not touch Airbnb's smart pricing tool, not even with a stick. So I would always tell you to get a dynamic pricing tool, something like Price Labs or Beyond Pricing, which are very good. If you look at other pricing, other dynamic pricing tools such as Wheelhouse, I think Wheelhouse overcomplicates the process a little bit, but they're also pretty good. And if you're using a particular PMS that tells you to use their pricing tool, for example, Tokeet. Tokeet. So if Tokeet tells you that you have to use their pricing tool, such as Rate Genie is fairly good. So I've used it in the past, as well as have used Tokeet. So yeah, they're fairly good. So yeah, always use dynamic pricing tool and never use what Airbnb or what an OTA is giving you. New listing welcome, new host guidance, intro to hosting classes, one-on-one mentoring, ask a super host successful hosting tips. So probably this is part of their host ambassador program, I believe. So let's see if we go into one of them. And what did they say? See? Yeah. Airbnb ambassadors, powered. Yeah, probably they chose a couple super hosts, and then from those super hosts, they're probably getting paid, because if I were there, I wouldn't be using my time for that if I wasn't getting paid for it. So they're probably getting paid, or getting something in return, in particular, and that would be a perk to be a super host. Then, if it brings value and you become an Airbnb ambassador, if you become a super host, then that's a pretty legitimate reason to aspire to be a super host. In my personal opinion, being a super host, I believe, is fairly overrated. That you should definitely keep the standards, and the standards are fairly good. But really, just having the badge and saying that you're a super host, it doesn't really add a lot more value, or at least I haven't seen that it adds a lot more tangible value in my case. So, yeah, take that information as you would. It's my opinion, and it's my anecdotal perspective. So prepare for your first guest. Yeah, custom calendar. Choose how you'll get paid. An automatic alert reminds new hosts to add a payout method so they are paid promptly. I mean, normally if you're a new host, there was a waiting period of 21 days for your first payout. Maybe that's being waived, and that's I don't really know, but I don't know how to interpret this. This needs a little bit more investigating. So Now you go, okay, your booking requests, your reservations, your quick links, host news and updates, host alerts, faster messaging. Yeah, the inbox was clunky and very, very slow. So if messaging is faster, that's great. That's long overdue. So personalized quick replies. And that's one of the reasons, going back to the messaging, that's one of the reasons why I currently use a PMS, just to have it be way faster than the regular inbox. So other than that, streamline reviews flow. Yeah, reviews have been fairly obscure, like and clunk. I don't know. It's been rather strange the past few. Their new review policies, they're changing stuff constantly, and whatever. It's been fairly strange. I don't really know what they're doing with reviews. So an easier way for guests to submit reviews and provide hosts with reviews. And I actually went through the review process as a guest, and it's very lengthy. It's like a lot. And yeah, I think that's just. I think if the process is hard and lengthy, I would say that more motivated guests would be the ones to leave reviews, and probably the very motivated guests wouldn't be particularly the ones who had a positive experience with you. So probably the ones with the negative experiences would be highly motivated to leave your review as, to display their negative experiences, and they have sort of, to say, like a grudge against you. So they're highly motivated to leave that review and pass through that lengthy process. And if they had a really positive experience with you, maybe they're gonna be like, I'm not gonna waste like 3 minutes or 5 minutes to just fill out all this thing to just say that I had a good time. So yeah, this was to me, just passing through this review process, it was too lengthy for my taste. So guests now have a fuller spectrum from critiques to compliments. Yeah, critiques, yes. To rate their stay at last. Come on. So lifetime host achievements, whatever. Shareable hosting highlights, host details, redesign help center, smart solutions, payment notifications, and all guest payment notifications are now centrally located, easy to find locations. This was long overdue, and one of the things that Airbnb does is if a guest has a payment problem, they normally withhold, retain that reservation as confirmed too long. It's 48 hours for them to fix up their payment issues. That may have changed, given these that may have changed given these new implementations, but before that it was 48 hours, and we've even had instances where the check-in instructions went out. It was a last-minute reservation. Check-in instructions went out, and then we get notified that there's a payment problem, and the guest is already inside, and essentially they're staying for free. So, yeah, this is something that the Airbnb urgently needs to change. So, yeah, it's like I hope they do. Let's say dedicated host Superline, whatever. New city portal, review dispute updates. Yeah, this was updated pretty well. I've disputed a couple of reviews, and yeah, the process has been fairly easy. So yeah, this has been pretty good. More support agents, support in more languages, and host resources. Yeah. So this is basically it. So yeah, I would say all in all, it's fairly long overdue. A lot of the features are fairly long overdue. So probably this is a pretty positive change for Airbnb and the platform. Let's see how they actually implement it. So yeah, from saying something to actually implementing it and rolling it out, it's a pretty big stretch. So let's see what happens. Yeah, if anything else changes, I'll keep you guys posted. And yeah, let's keep on watching what Airbnb is doing and where it's heading. All right, guys. So we've reached the end of the video. Liked if you liked it. Comment if you have any other perspectives, opinions, and anything. Remember to follow us on social media, Hospitality 5 on Instagram, and Hospitality on LinkedIn. And yeah, let's get the conversation going.